Hey guys, it's Heather from Tomatoes, Poppies, and Everything Gardening. We're going to quickly run outside. The sun is setting, and I want to give you a quick backyard and raised bed garden area garden tour before the month of March is officially gone. It's been almost a full month, and a lot has changed. Actually, I think I need to start doing maybe every 2 week episodes because um, you missed out on the forsythia blooming. It was so pretty. The camellias are pretty much done. Um, it's just so much has changed in just a month. So let's get outside. I do not get to walk around enough at night in the garden just to enjoy it and the space and the sounds. And it was a really quiet night. So I thought, why don't I just walk around and not narrate? So now I'm going to voice over here the tour for you. Strawberries I have in various locations. They're all starting to put on their flowers. The camellias back there are about done on the fence line. I think that's April blush. And, I've got some little pansies in these attached planters on the front of the deck. That's a 5-spot flower. And these shrubs, they need to get trimmed up again. But I always have birds in there making nests, so I hate to trim when there's birds in there. It's time to make a salad. As you can see, I've still got my seedling mess everywhere. It's kind of getting on my nerves, but I gave my onions a haircut yesterday. Some of the nasturtiums have popped open. I need to transplant those bok choys too. The sunflowers in the Starbucks cups did great germinating. And you can see the backyard is still a mess. I have that big cardboard project going there to make the bed bigger. Haven't completed it, but look at my cauliflowers. They're looking so cute. There's some head lettuce in there too. I did transplant out the extra seedlings into my pea area that's coming up here. We're getting ready to walk to it. So this is where the tour officially begins for the backyard / raised bed area. And unfortunately, you're going to hear me yell a couple times coming up because look, Tonto did that during the night, and I was so mad at him. He loves peas, and my daughter actually gave him one to eat yesterday, and I think he remembered the taste of pea. And then
Leave it.
sometime during the night when he was let out, he went after that pea plant. You can see the grass area is coming in nice. My new L-shaped in-ground bed area that I kind of lined with the bricks. It's doing great. I've got germination on my chamomile and germination on the Badger Flame beets. You can see right there. So that area is looking really nice. Of course, Jeffrey is following me this whole tour as well. It's like I'm a pet magnet. They're always following me. So this is where I put some of those cauliflowers that I transplanted out. And yeah, some more of the pea plant is broken.
Leave it.
I need to work on this bed, but I did weed it one day last week. And some blueberries here. Have lots of blueberries with buds. This rose I haven't worked on yet. I forgot about him. So here's my kohlrabi. I have one that's gone to flower and one that's not. I'm so hopeful that I can just get one. I've never been able to grow this to completion to have a harvest. I never have been able to do that, and I try and I try and I try. Climbing rose got pruned the other day. It looks good. And you can see the blueberries again. And I've got alpine strawberries that lines the front of my deck on both sides, and they produce the sweetest little strawberries, and they grow in shadish kind of areas like part shade, and they're just so pretty, and they don't run like normal strawberries. They just mound up. Blueberry looking good on my blueberry bushes.
Tonto.
Oh, there's Tonto.
Leave it.
I tell you,
Leave it.
between
That's
him,
enough.
the squirrels, and the cat, it's a wonder I can grow anything at all. Okay, so we're just looking at the blueberry plants again. There's a little blackberry in that pot I got last year. It's a baby cake variety. And here are my not raspberries, blackberries. I transplanted these, kind of thinned out my blackberry bed a couple weeks ago. I was worried I'd waited too late, but they actually took to the transplant super well, I think because we got a lot of rain that week. And they're looking really good. And then around the same time, or maybe, 3 weeks ago, I put in some astilbe in the bottom layer, divided up some perennial cranesbill in the second layer, and then at the top, we just got the pansies I bought on clearance. So now we're going to go look at that blackberry bed. I zip tied some of the arms branches to my fence. I'm going to have to keep this sprayed with deer repellent because the deer love to eat raspberry and blackberry canes. We just saw a wild viola there in the grass. Those are native. I think they're so pretty. Some people make tea with those, but I never get enough of the flowers to do that. And let's see, I've got my one little lonely shrub there, little Christmas tree guy. This is the forsythia, and you can see it's already past its bloom. I think there's a few flowers left though, and I have to walk really carefully in this area. I have had copperheads in my backyard before, and last summer there was one right here in this spot. So I'm always really careful. Here's an overview of the backyard in progress. Like I said, it is a mess. It is just a total, complete mess. But I have a goal by Mother's Day weekend. I want it to look really pretty, have lots of flowers, have a relaxing space, everything completely mulched, weeded, trimmed, and just looking nice. That's my goal for myself, a Mother's Day gift to myself. I've got a few blooms left on the camellias, but they're really about done for the season. I think you'll get to see, you saw the white one, and then there's like a pink one that's still pretty, and then one reddish toned flower that still looks kind of pretty. And then our neighbor's dog likes to follow me around too. She's waiting for pets, and I did pet her after the video. This is a beautiful flower there. And let's see, okay, perennial geranium that I transplanted. And then remember I planted all these bare root astilbe, and you can see they're starting to germinate. I also planted some bare root lady ferns that I got at, I think Costco. It was 5 in a pack. I didn't know if they were going to take, and then they're starting to uncurl and come out of the ground. That is a fern I thought was dead last year, but it wasn't. And I just put it in a pot and it came back to life. So I was so happy about that. Those were my raspberries that we just looked at right there. And then I think we're going to spin around and take a better look at them. Well, maybe we're not. Oh, yeah, we are. Okay, so I've got the 2 different varieties of raspberry there. One of them I love last year. I think it's called Prelude. Prelude, yeah. A pink forget-me-nots. If you didn't know that forget-me-nots can be pink, you can buy seeds for pink forget-me-nots, and they're so pretty. They will not bloom the first year. It will take you another year, but they are worth it. They are so petite and beautiful. My fragrant olive tree bushes right here. This is what that is. You can see they got damaged when we got those cold nights. I think it was like last week, 10 days ago. They had blossoms and now they're dead. But, you know, what can you do? You can see my grass blend with the clover is coming in nicely. I need to do some more areas as soon as I get some free time. Heucheras look great there. Canterbury bells are coming up. I have like 3 patches of Canterbury bells. Those are also biennial, so you're not going to get flowers the first year. These Brussels sprouts there on the end, they went to seed. I need to take them out. Germination, it's spotty here in my milk jugs. I got a really late start, but I'm done with the milk jugs for the year. You saw my Napa cabbage back there, and the spinach is really finally starting to take off. I think I have 5 or 6 plants in here with the strawberries and the peas in the back. And there's the dog, wants some pets again. And just a climbing rose there on the fence that I also zip tied in place. You can hear my phone is actually going off during this recording. That's what that is. So it was a really peaceful night. I really enjoy just walking around and looking at stuff and seeing the progress, especially if it's a flower. Look at these beautiful violas here on the top of my rain barrel. This candy tuft looks so cute right here. I need to get some more of that. And of course, Terry's trying to make a mess of the bed. I've got some more peas coming up. These are called telephone peas, so they get really long vines, and I think it'll look pretty climbing up this arched trellis that goes over the walkway. Some more Canterbury bells right there. I've got heuchera, or Cora bell, whatever you want to call them. And here's that experiment that I made that 1 week in February, and you guys made a really long video where we did a lot of work in the backyard this day, and you can see the peas did germinate. Also had extra like radish seeds, so I just threw them in there to see what would happen. It's a really densely packed area, so I don't know if they'll get very big. And well, I decided, well, this is a phlox, so I dug this up last summer, and evidently I didn't get all the root. I'm gonna have to dig that up. It's lemon winter savory there. I think. I have to look that up. Yeah, I think it is. And then my broccoli bed. So a lot of my broccolis, I'll put a picture up right here. They went to seed. They started flowering. I couldn't do anything to stop it. So I think I have 4 left that actually have not started even heading up yet. So I think those might work. And you can see my carrot bed here. I did a short on this. Quick, easy way to plant carrot seeds. And they germinated beautifully. But the squirrels and the cat have been in there thinning the carrots for me is the way I want to look at it, or else I would lose my mind. We just passed the radish bed. It's doing good. Also, squirrel damage, cat damage. They really don't care if I have food or not. They just want to dig in the beds. Took out that snapdragon and put that little coral there because I decided to move my coral that were on this walkway on the other side. And I'm going to put tomatoes there. So the 2 small beds here that are underneath the petal panel, I've got not much in this one, just onions and carrots. I put literally carrot seeds everywhere. That day I was just shaking that bag of carrot seeds. I think over on that side I've got white icicle radish, and then on this side right here is dragon radish. And they're looking really good. And my little piggy there, he's got some ornamental oregano that is perennial. Survived the winter, and we're walking out to get another view, and I've just got things in different states here. Also garlic and all of these front planters, some garlic there in the back too. This broccoli I had to cut off the head and eat it. I need to take that plant out and get ready for my peppers and tomatoes, and I would like to put some clover through this area too. As you can see, there's a overview there of the raised beds. And let's see what I got going on here. Oh, this little sucker. Remember, I've got this tomato sucker, and 3 nights ago I was going to bring him in, as I've been doing, and I'll put some pictures right here. He was covered in aphids, and I actually had him inside the house, and I was like, oh no, and I immediately ran outside with him. I was so afraid those aphids would get to my seedlings or my indoor tomato plant. So he's been living outside the last 3 nights. And what I do at night is I just wrap him in that big chunky bubble wrap and put this container over top of him. And he's done fine. So I think he's ready to get planted. When I checked him the next day after the aphid issue, he didn't have any. So I think the cold weather kind of zapped him. My clover grass blend, you can see, turned out beautiful in this section. I've put the switchgrass there. It's really too close to the shrubs, but I plan to divide it and keep it on the small side. And I've got some broccolis there that are still waiting to head up. Maybe they'll do well, maybe they won't. We'll just have to wait and see. And there's some mountain mint right there in the back too. And I've got some 2 pots. Been filling up with leaves. I think I'll put eggplants in there when it's time. Just got a perennial stuff in here. There's some bare root hollyhocks I planted the other day. Some thyme in that pot. And I haven't cleaned up this area yet, but there's snapdragons. There's some of the coneflower we divided last fall and then put in different chunks around this area. Garlic is in this area right here. My strawberries. And this is where the garden tour ends for this section. We'll do the front yard and side yard tour here in like a day. But this is kind of where I cut it off. Well, you see I got poppies, so they're going to look beautiful in this area. Should be shades of purple. I think I did fertilize this garlic and strawberries a few weeks ago. And then I dropped a seed pack of these collards when I was planting them. It was late at night. It was in the dark, literally. And then I just dropped the pack. So I've got little baby collards everywhere. I need to thin it. But I'm doing a mass planting anyway, just to get like baby greens. And that's it. So that's it for our backyard and raised bed garden tour. I'm going to try to do this again in 2 weeks because a lot of things are going to change.